He kōna e purangi tēnei nā te reo irirangi o Aotearoa.
In some ways, I feel a responsibility towards the instruments. You know, a beautiful instrument that's been handcrafted, it makes a beautiful sound, and they need to be played. And like they have a spirit. And not only just the instruments, but also what it enables us to do as performers, to come together and to, you know, play together. It's really a kind of a magical thing.
Sounds from instruments that first came to New Zealand 30 years ago from Indonesia.
It's a sonic embodiment of, you know, cooperation and participation. So it feels great to keep this alive. Yeah.
That's the University of Canterbury's Gamelan ensemble, keeping this ancient Balinese and Javanese tradition well and alive in New Zealand. Hi, it's me, Kadambri Raghukumar, and I'm visiting the university for the 30th anniversary celebration of these instruments. It's a massive day for the Indonesian community, US-born Professor Justin DeHart, you just heard there, and some special guests visiting from Indonesia just for the occasion. Back there, this music is cultural taonga, with spiritual roots in the Hindu, Buddhist and Muslim histories of the islands of Bali, Java and Sumatra. And if you think the sound is overpowering, it's safe to say that it's really quite a remarkable sight to see all of these instruments together. Bright red with gold embellishments, intricate woodwork that holds these brass percussive surfaces that are struck with hammer-shaped mallets.
Every time we have a ceremony in Bali, it's really for Bali Hindu. So we always perform the gamelan, also music and dance. So the gamelan or music is really important to Balinese life.
That's Imade Kartawan. He's a master of gamelan and teaches at the College of Arts in Bali. But his connection to New Zealand goes back to 2016 when he came to the university for his postgraduate in ethnomusicology.
When I came here in 2016, that gamelan was stopped for 10 years. We tried to rebuild the gamelan with Professor Justin and the support by School of Music.
The original set of instruments here was commissioned to be brought to the university's School of Music back in 1995, thanks to Professor Elaine Dobson. The original set of instruments was commissioned to be brought to the university's School of Music back in 1995, thanks to Professor Elaine Dobson. But after her retirement in 2013, the instruments pretty much fell to disuse until Imade came along and took up the task of re-establishing the gamelan.
We had the fortune to have him as a postgraduate student and a master of the gamelan and also tuning the gamelan as well. So I became his postgraduate supervisor and he became our gamelan teacher.
So what I'm looking at today is a full ensemble brought back through their combined efforts. Made taught here for 5 years before going back to Bali. About once a week, the group come together to rehearse, and ahead of tonight's big event, nearly 15 university students and people from the wider Christchurch community are sitting cross-legged on stage, partly hidden behind these elaborate-looking instruments, rehearsing their pieces. There's a mix of Kiwis, Americans and Indonesians here. And Justin is playing a horizontal double-sided drum up the front. But when did your fascination with Balinese music begin?
It began, I suppose, as a university student when I first came across the music. I can't quite remember the first time. It may have been a world music course or something like this. But actually my teacher at the time, it was a member of Gamelan Sheikh Arjaya, one of the most established groups outside of Bali. They operate out of San Francisco, or the Bay Area in California. So I knew of this, and I got to see them perform a few times, and I was absolutely blown away. Like, it felt like my whole senses, were just bombarded with the colors and the sound and the dancing and the music and the rhythms and the melodies, and everything just felt like completely new to me at that time. So that began my fascination more broadly in music from around the world.
Now, Justin's a Grammy-nominated percussionist with an impressive list of global collaborations spanning all sorts of styles of music. But learning the gamelan presented him with a different set of challenges. It's music that's passed down through oral tradition.
It's personal. You're learning from somebody that passes it on. And yes, sometimes it's little changes and it can be adapted for that specific individual or this specific group.
Because there's no notations as such, is there? Much like maybe classical Indian music as well, we don't have notations and we're always learning just by ear, as we say. So that must just add a whole other layer of complexity and difficulty to learning this music, right?
It does, and I'm a student of Indian music as well, and both of them have a very similar kind of mental challenge. I think it's a little sad if you think about it, because humans, I think we're losing that. This style of music, the manner of learning is really, I'm hoping I'll be good when I get old and I don't develop dementia too early because of this neural plasticity that you're forced to, to change and to bend and to try to retain. Yeah, it's great. Good exercise.
In what way would this differ to, say, other percussive instruments, say a xylophone or say a marimba?
Actually, the closest thing would probably be a vibraphone in the Western music. But the difference here is the scale here. We have 5 notes out of a 7-note scale. And so there's 2 gaps. It kind of goes, you can see they're even numbered 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. And then again 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So
it is pentatonic in some sense?
Yeah, it's pentatonic in some sense. And then each one of these instruments are paired up. One is tuned slightly higher, one slightly lower. So if you play this one,
That's a little higher.
Yeah.
Just really tiny, ever so slightly
but
different.
when you put them together, you get what's called beating, and you can hear it probably better with the lower instruments. So that's what gives it a shimmering quality. It matches the gold and the all the bright metallic things.
The mood of the music is sort of very ethereal, sometimes spooky almost.
Yes.
And you can imagine why it sort of evokes the sense of, devotion or surrender of some sort to worship, if that would be the word to use,
Absolutely,
right? You can see why it has such a big part to play in religion and rituals in Bali and Hinduism.
The other world. Yeah.
Yeah. Do people connect with that when how do you, from an academic point of view, how do you translate that sense to students and people that are interested in this form?
Yeah.
Is it something that's does it have a place?
It does have a place, I think, on a very basic level. I think about this a lot. I think of the process of learning music, there is an ethical kind of implication there, right? You have to be at least true to yourself to, practice, to show up, to be honest, to get better. You have to, in this sense, you have to work with people. You can't, take advantage of somebody. You have to sit next to them the next day, and you have to play. So there's that basic element. We take our shoes off, partly because it's more comfortable, but also respect for the instruments, that we don't bring, any kind of, dirt or whatever. We don't step over the instruments. Again, partly respect, but also so we don't hurt ourselves. So there's a kind of a basic ethical discipline with, I'd say, most music, but with this music. And I'm not, I don't follow, Balinese religion, which is a kind of a mix of, as I understand it, a mix of Hinduism and some local customs. So I can't speak for that. But we try to teach, reverence for the music and reverence for the instruments and kind of respect for the tradition and being curious and open to learning. in Bali, this has a function in the community, and you can't copy and paste that exactly. Obviously, this is a different culture. We have different traditions, so it can't really serve that function. But music more broadly does bring people together, and people play together and people come to listen. So the university, I think gamelans in a way are really dependent on institutions for that support. We're so fortunate. I feel fortunate to be working with UC that has kept this going and committed to preserving its future. And I see every day how much it's benefiting people. They get joy. It's a good challenge. They develop friendships. They're developing also their musicianship and their listening skills. And we learn about each other. I have new friends who I wouldn't have if I didn't do this.
2 hours into these performances, that certain hypnotic resonance of the gamelan, the aroma of authentic nasi goreng being served by the platefuls, and a very palpable sense of pride continues to permeate through the evening.
My name is Akaputra, and today has been great. I've been playing gamelan for like 9 months to a year, and it's amazing for me from someone that's been living in New Zealand for like 13 years and trying to get back into my root, connect more with my heritage. The sound is very therapeutic. It's very meditative, and I love my culture. I love my heritage, and it's amazing. I hope in the future we be able to keep preserving gamelan in the whole world, so everyone will be able to get the benefit of the therapeutic sounds, and yeah.
Big thanks to Justin DeHart and Made Kartawan for talking to me on this episode of Here Now, featuring the set of gamelan instruments commissioned to the University of Canterbury by Elaine Dobson. You can find more Here Now episodes on all your favourite podcast platforms, as well as the RNZ website, where you might find some photos and videos attached to each episode as well. Today's episode was mixed by Daniel Hurley, and my name is Kadamri Raghukumar.